Good morning, everybody. I'm Zen Honeycutt of Moms Across America, and I have the honor of being here today with the founder and technical director of Naturepedic, Barry Chick. Hi, Barry.
Hey, hi. How are you, Zen?
Very good. Thank you so much for being here today. We're going to talk about something very important. And as a mother, through this whole process of creating Moms Across America and mostly addressing my children's health, I realized that once I saw that my children had multiple allergies to all kinds of foods and many different environmental allergens, that they were also allergic to chemicals, that they had, or maybe not allergic, but had a reaction. They were sensitive to chemicals. We would go into a makeup store for myself, and my son would start to, his eyes would tear up, or he would cough, and he would be very sensitive to chemicals. So we at Moms Across America are intent on addressing the chemical exposure, the toxic exposure to our children from many different areas. And one of them is the home. And probably one of the most important ones is the mattress on which they sleep on for 10 to 12 hours a night, especially a toddler or a teenager, right? They can put some sleep in.
Baby.
Or a baby, yes. So we would like to address, why would we want to invest in an organic mattress? What is going on with the current mattresses that are out there? Why would we not want to buy just a regular, mattress at a discount store? And why would we invest more money in an organic mattress? So, Barry, can you address that? What's going on with the current mattresses?
Absolutely. Thank you.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So there are no regulations when it comes to mattresses. And because there are no regulations, people will put in whatever works. And let's just be very honest about it.
Mm-hmm.
Most mattresses are made with polyurethane foam. And because polyurethane foam is so highly flammable, then they have to add flame retardants on top of all the chemicals that come with the polyurethane foam.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's usually lots of formaldehyde, and there's pesticides that they add. When you see a product, mattress or otherwise, that says antibacterial or antimicrobial, you know what that means? It means by law they had to add pesticides. That's how they're allowed to say.
They add pesticides to
They must, by law, they must add registered pesticides if they're going to put the words antibacterial or antimicrobial on the product.
So I thought I was doing a good thing by buying those because my child's allergic to so many different things. So you're saying now they're breathing in pesticides.
That's exactly what they just told you. They want you to think it's a good thing because it's antibacterial. But what they're not telling you is they're just adding pesticides. So what's the pesticides doing to the kid or to you or to whoever?
Right. That's a problem. We don't know,
right.
Especially over years of time.
Right. And then there are GMOs, then there are glues, all kinds of glues and adhesives. There's antimony that's used sometimes. It doesn't end. If it's a baby mattress and it's waterproof, there's vinyl.
And what's wrong with vinyl?
What's wrong with vinyl? Vinyl is actually polyvinyl chloride. Polyvinyl chloride comes in two forms, hard and soft. When polyvinyl chloride is hard, it's called PVC, like PVC pipe. When polyvinyl chloride is soft, it's called vinyl. Okay? How do you get the soft vinyl? You take the hard PVC and you add phthalates. Okay?
Phthalates.
That's where the phthalates come in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? You add phthalates. The phthalates makes the hard PVC soft, and that becomes vinyl.
And phthalates can disrupt hormones, correct?
Absolutely. Right. And they're carcinogens. It's clear cut. They have no business being used. And here's a really good. Phthalates is a really good example. So first of all, the phthalates don't stick to the vinyl. Okay, it's just the nature of the chemistry. It off gases. It comes out of the vinyl into the air where you can breathe it. All right. The vinyl people know that. So approximately 40% of vinyl is phthalates, plasticides with phthalates, and that keep it, nice and soft. When you open the door to a new car and you have that new car smell, you're smelling phthalates.
Oh.
At least that's how it used to be. Today, even today, even the cars that don't have vinyl, they're artificially adding the phthalate smell because people think it's that's what you get when you get a new car.
Seriously? They add the new car smell?
They add that new car smell today. Oh. Even though there may not be vinyl anymore in that particular model.
Right.
But the point is, historically, when you open the door to a new car, you're smelling vinyl. You're smelling phthalates from that's off gassing out of the vinyl. When vinyl gets old and it starts to crack, okay, the phthalates are gone. They've off-gassed, and it's reverting back to the hard PVC.
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
so all these phthalates are harmful. In 2008, it might have been 2007, I don't remember anymore, but I think it was 2008, the federal government banned the 6 major phthalates that were being used in vinyl for baby and children's products, not for anything else, for baby and children's products. What did the vinyl and the phthalate people do? They created new kinds of phthalates that are technically legal.
Mm-hmm.
Whether they're any better or not, I don't know. Nobody knows.
Right.
But they're technically legal. They're right back into the vinyl, right back on a baby mattress, right back on a shower curtain.
Right. They just create a different chemical that is also not tested, just like the BPAs. There's another chemical they followed right after that, just like
exactly
the endocrine disruptors in makeup and cosmetics. They just create another one to put it in there.
Exactly. You ban one chemical.
Yeah.
And industry turns around and creates another chemical that's maybe just as bad.
Right.
But it's not banned.
Right.
So it's right back in the product that you buy.
Then that's used for anher 2, maybe 20 years before people actually find out that it's harmful, and then they ban that and they start over again.
So there's a big problem here. There are over 80,000 chemicals in the marketplace. Over 80,000 chemicals in the marketplace. Most of them, almost all of them, have never really been tested for toxicity.
Right.
Now the industry will tell you, don't worry about it, because we did just a little tiny bit of this chemical. It's too small. There's a concept called the dose makes the poison. So if the dose is small enough, it can't be a poison. So why are you giving me a hard time?
Yeah, it's just such a small amount.
It's such a small amount. So that whole presentation theoretically is correct. The dose does make the poison.
Right.
But the problem is take it from there. Number one, okay, so at what dose does this chemical become a poison?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they don't know that part.
They don't know.
They don't know that part. They just assuming that it's small enough that it's not. That's number one.
So 1 second. So I just want to add to this. This reminds me of when I went to the EPA and I said, you don't have proof that these pesticides are safe for humans. And they said, well, we have hundreds of studies showing safety. And I said, but not on humans. They're all on rats or something else. And they said, well, of course not. Testing for pesticides on humans is not ethical. And I said, well, if it's not ethical to test on humans, how could it be ethical to allow it in our food supply or our water, or in this case on mattresses?
Exactly.
They have no evidence that it's safe at all. And as a mother, I'm going to want to protect my child from chemicals versus just subjecting them to them if I can help it, and seeing where it goes, what happens from there. Exactly. It's very disturbing. So we've got all kinds of chemicals that you just touched on one, phthalates. I'm sure there's petroleum-based chemicals. There's all kinds of hormone disruptors. Is this a chart here? Can we show this? Is this appropriate to show? We have a little chart here of different types of chemicals.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
So we have here an image of different levels of toxicity, correct? The little baby footprints.
For certain plastics, for certain of the common plastics.
Certain common plastics on the mattresses.
Right.
And can you explain a little bit what we're looking at here?
And this was created by Clean Production Action, which did a whole study on different polymers, different plastics.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so they broke the common plastics into 3 groups and 3 colors, if I just may.
Mm-hmm.
For example, the best ones would be the yellows. For each manufacturing step, no core chemical inputs or chemicals of high concern, as defined by green screen benchmark. So the 3 best plastics, if you need to use a plastic, it's going to be polyethylene, polypropylene, polylactic acid, also known as PLA. Those would be the best. The worst would be polyvinyl chloride, which we were just talking about, PVC, polystyrene, and this is latex. This is synthetic latex, polycarbonate, styrene, butadiene rubber, latex.
And so these are the ones that traditional mattresses use. Right here.
Well, traditional mattresses will use, yes, they do. They do.
Mm-hmm.
And some of the other stuff too. This isn't just, this chart was not made just for mattresses.
Okay.
It's more general. But yeah.
So traditional mattresses are down here, and Naturepedic mattresses are up here.
But anything in our product that is not organic, as in, we have organic cotton, organic wool, organic latex, anything in our product that's not organic or that's not steel is going to be one, and it has to be synthetic. It's going to be one of these three, which are the best.
Okay, and people would ask, well, why do you have to have anything synthetic at all? And you explained it very clearly to me when we first met, that you have to have something to waterproof the mattress, because otherwise it just soaks right into the mattress, right? And we have a problem with the mattress. So you have to have something to sort of waterproof it, and you do need to have some sort of synthetic chemical, but you have the very lowest of the toxicity of any of those.
So let's use waterproofing as an example. There's several things that need to go into a mattress that you can't do with natural organic kinds of fibers. But one of them is waterproofing for a baby mattress. Okay, there are two ways to waterproof. There's chemicals and there's plastic. Basically, that's the only way. You got to choose. You know, in the old days, in our grandparents' days, the baby was on straw, and when the straw got dirty, you threw out the straw and you brought in new straw. But that doesn't you can't do that today. We don't live in that world. We have people who want to live naturally, non-toxic, clean, safe, but they still need a mattress, and the mattress needs to last, and it has to be waterproof. That's just one example, of course. Okay, so how are you going to waterproof the mattress? So chemicals like perfluorinated compounds, which are used commonly, no way. Vinyl, no way. Okay, so what you're left with is a plastic, but a plastic that's not toxic, which makes and there's an important point here. There are two kinds of synthetics. There's synthetic that's toxic. There's also synthetic, not breaking down, not natural, it's synthetic, but it's not toxic. It's not going to hurt anybody. Okay, so if you need to use something, you have no choice. Okay, for example, in waterproofing, then at least get a synthetic that's not toxic. So instead of vinyl or perfluorinated compounds or things like that, what we use is polyethylene. Polyethylene is one of those three best ones. Okay, polyethylene is a simple plastic, very simple plastic. We take it a step further. We go to food grade polyethylene. So when you go into the grocery store and you buy a loaf of bread, that loaf of bread comes in a thin, clear plastic. That's a food grade polyethylene. And then we took it one step further. We're making our food grade polyethylene from sugarcane, non-GMO sugarcane.
Wow.
So it's as clean, as non-toxic as it gets.
Wow,
on planet Earth.
That's great.
And that's how you get waterproofing. So that's an example of where we can't use, there's no natural way to waterproof, but we found a way to make it as non-toxic as possible.
Wow.
And that's what we stand for.
That's awesome. And you have numerous awards. You have more awards than I think any other mattress company out there, right?
To the best of my knowledge, we have more awards than all our competitors combined.
Wow, that's amazing. And you come from a place of real commitment on this. You're a grandfather of many children, right? And can you tell us a little bit about how you got into making organic mattresses?
Sure. If you had told me 15 years ago that I'd be in the mattress business, I would have laughed at you.
Because what were you doing before? Just briefly, what was your credential?
I'm a board certified environmental engineer. I've been chasing chemicals for a living for close to 40 years. I'm also certified by the Institute of Professional Environmental Practice. I'm also a certified hazardous materials manager. I'm an author of a textbook for government institutes on environmental assessments. I'm a certified diplomat forensic engineer. I can testify in court as an expert witness and a few other things. Wow. 13 years ago, I walked into a baby store to buy a crib mattress for our first grandchild. So I'm looking at the mattresses, vinyl, phthalates, polyurethane foam, flame retardants. I just couldn't buy it. Then I'm talking to the salesperson. Finally, she says to me, "Come on. If it wasn't safe, the government wouldn't allow it to be sold. What's your problem?" And I went home and I go, wow.
Yeah.
This is, that was my moment of truth. That was my moment of truth. And I'm kidding around with my wife and I said, you know what? My grandfather slept on straw. Let's go to our Amish friends and get some straw. That's how this whole thing started. I'm really being honest with you.
You really
the whole thing is.
How did that go over with your daughter or your son?
No,
the parent of your.
It went over fine. We're cool. It went over fine. We made a mattress. We put it on the internet. People just started buying it. I went, oh, wow, this is really something.
Wow.
And one thing has led to the other. Now we make everything from baby mattresses, children, adults, super luxury mattresses, the real expensive stuff, whatever.
And you have how many stores across the country?
There are about 1,000 stores that carry some are all around
1,000 stores. So
that carry our products.
Almost anywhere you live, you could probably find a mattress store not too far away that carries one of your mattresses.
Right. When it comes to baby and children's, and you anywhere. When it comes to the adult, we're not everywhere yet.
Okay.
But we're in a lot of places, and we're growing all the time.
Okay, excellent. Well, it sounds like this is just a very important thing to do for our children. Is there something where people are going to ask, well, it's expensive. If I can't afford the organic one, do you have another version? I think you have another version, right, of a line that's non-toxic, but it's not necessarily certified organic. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Well, this is baby we're talking about.
Yeah, baby. Yeah.
So on baby, we have another line called Lullaby Earth. Basically, we insisted on doing organic and organic only. Organic is, you can consider organic the means to the end. If you want the absolute safest product, you want to go with as much organic as you possibly can, and we do. But those mattresses are a little bit more expensive, and we were begged to make something less expensive. And the day came, I walked into a baby store once, and I'm training on the mattresses, and the customer walks in and she happens to want to look at mattresses. So I move over to the side. The customer didn't know who I was. The salesperson is trying to sell her a baby mattress. True story. She's trying. Finally, the customer was in tears. And I saw this with my own eyes. The customer told the salesperson, look, I only have so many dollars. There's 5 things I need to buy. I was watching this, and I feel like going over to the sales lady and saying, just give it to her. We'll work it out. Don't worry about it. Yeah. But for whatever reason, I didn't do it. It's not my store. She had other brands there. I don't know. I just didn't do it. But I walked out of there feeling terrible. I really did. I felt terrible. I realized, you know what? That person, the baby doesn't have to be sleeping on polyurethane foam and flame retardants and vinyl and phthalates.
Right.
So let's just find a way. So we made another label called Lullaby Earth, which is not a natural product, but it's basically non-toxic. Okay. It doesn't use polyurethane foam or flame retardants or vinyl or phthalates or formaldehyde. It doesn't have any of those things. Right. It's basically a non-toxic, but it's not an organic. It's still a synthetic product.
Right.
So we have that, and it's much less expensive.
Okay, so you can check out the website naturepedic.com, right, and look at the different products, and then do a search for stores that carry it near you, or ask your local mattress store. Can you buy them online as well?
Of course.
Oh, you can buy them online and have them shipped to your house. Sure. And we will be posting on momsacrossamerica.org more information about Naturepedic and about the chemicals that are in mattresses. We are very committed that children are not exposed to toxic chemicals from any avenue, from water, from food, from air, from clothing. I mean, we have to address, there's, flame retardants on pajamas. You want to make sure to buy pajamas that do not have flame retardants on them, on couches and mattresses. It goes on and on. You really do need to look at what our children are being exposed to today. And I'm particularly concerned with this because I know now that glyphosate that's in our food supply and our water supply breaks down the blood-brain barrier and allows toxins into the brain. So if your child is being exposed to glyphosate, which most likely they are, even through breast milk and through soy formulas and any kind of formulas, I'm sorry, it's just the way it is right now. The toxic chemicals in the environment have a much greater impact than perhaps they would have 30 years ago, wouldn't you say? It's incredibly important now.
Absolutely. Absolutely. There's a major point here. When you just give, the more you give, the bigger the problem. If I may, let's go back to the 1970s when I was in college, and I happened to live in Cleveland, Ohio, Lake Erie, and the joke in engineering school was the solution to pollution is dilution. Well, it wasn't very funny. With Lake Erie was dying. Okay, back in 1870 when they started dumping toxic waste into the lake just swallowed it up, no problem. 1890, 1910, 1930, no problem. By 1970, the lake was dying. Okay, and to this day, there is no commercial fishing allowed in Lake Erie because the mercury level is so high. Okay, what's the point? The point is you start throwing these toxic chemicals into the environment and to people. At first, it doesn't seem like it's a problem, but the day will come when we pay a heavy price. And the same thing that happened with Lake Erie and much other of our environment, the same thing is happening with people. You start giving people toxic chemicals. At first, but the day will come, and it's coming already. And we have babies with autism, with asthma, with ADD. We don't even know where it's all coming. With allergies, we don't even know where it's all coming from. And we don't know where it's all coming from. All we know is we're dumping chemicals at people. There are 250 pounds of chemicals that were created this year for everybody. You, me, everybody. And next year, there'll be another 250 pounds. And this has been going on for years. The day will come when it just starts to overwhelm us.
Well, it already has. One out of 2 of our children now have a chronic illness. One out of 2 males and 1 out of 3 females, including children. That's why we say males and females, not men and women, are expected to get cancer in America today.
Yeah.
So if we're not taking action to proactively avoid getting cancer, our chances of getting cancer are very high. I mean, it's practically 1 out of 2, so you look around you and you see the number of people in your family. I mean, I don't like those odds. So, we do have an affiliate link on Moms Across America. If this is something that you are interested in, you can go to Moms Across America. We have a solutions page where we talk about health solutions in the home. A small percentage will go to Moms Across America to support our programs, and we do appreciate that. But however you buy an organic mattress, doesn't matter to us. We would like you to please consider an organic mattress for the health of your children, especially your babies, and yourself. It is an investment, but hey, we really don't need a new TV or the newest phone or, to buy brand new clothes every month. Like we really don't. There's a lot of things that we can cut back on that we as Americans have been used to doing. The average American goes out to eat 3 to 4 times a week. If you cook organic at home, you are saving thousands of dollars a year, and you can put that money aside for an organic mattress. You can check out the math. If you cook organic French fries at home, you can save $917 a year just on the fries 2 times a week. If you just eat at home 2 times a week and make your own fries instead of eating out, that's not even including the burgers or the chicken or the fish or whatever else you would eat. So there's your organic mattress right there. If you're just start eating at home, eating organic, instead of eating out at a fast food place that's going to be serving all kinds of GMO chemicals and carcinogens and all of that. So just look at your budget, ask yourself what's important, and really take a look at avoiding the toxic chemicals in your home and your food and your water in all different areas. So thank you, Barry, for being with us today and really going into the nitty-gritty of these plastics and vinyls and pesticides. Absolutely extraordinary in our mattresses, totally unacceptable. Thank you for your expertise and your commitment to your grandchildren and the world.
You're very welcome. Only good things for you, only good things for all of us.
Thank you, Barry. Appreciate it.